Hi there, and thank you for clicking on my video. This video is going to be covering the new weapon, the Sun and Moon. It's getting a bad rap. I went ahead and figured out, because at the time, the multipliers on the stance weren't available. So real quick, I just did the basic attack and the forward block combo. Because it's all pretty much the same. But the two main ones, the stance is filled with hella multipliers. I don't know what people are talking about. I didn't do the forward one, though it's all pretty much apples to oranges. The theme is definitely prevalent. A 3x multiplier and a 2x multiplier to base damage seems to be the standard. There is a ton of multi-hit. I did not find any forced procs. And honestly, because of the multi-hit, I don't think they're going to fix this. So our base damage on the weapon is 190. This Sun and Moon is unmodded. So 1367 is our crit. 570. Pretty simple. 570 divided by 190. So 300. The first auto is a triple hit. Went through and tested the standing auto and the forward auto because I just wanted to know what kind of multipliers and if there were any force slashes or impacts or anything like that. It doesn't look like there's any forced procs. And I didn't really go through and test the scaling on like any sort of dot. Like sometimes you'll find like bonus to slash on like a specific part of the stance. The problem is the stance is really agile on the block combo. I could imagine it's going to take a minute to figure out what the slash ticks are for this. And plus with the multi-hit, if you're going to be proccing a slash tick, you're probably going to be proccing a bunch of them. So here are the basic multipliers on the forward, on the standing auto and the block auto. First one is a triple hit. It's a single hit for 300%, for 3 times damage, and then a double hit for 3 times damage. The second one is 2 hits of 300% damage. And then a 2 times multi-hit for 300, the little hop. And it is essentially going for a double headshot. The standing block is the same as the regular E, that's fine. I mean, we see that on common stances, sometimes on rares. Actually, I don't think it happens on rares. It might, though. But it's not uncommon to find that on like a common stance, right? But generally on rares, they'll have a unique defense. The forward block combo, where you're pressing forward and autoing while holding the block, is an extremely agile part of the stance. And again, the theme kind of sticks with it. 2x 200%, 2x 200%. A dash for 200%, a dash for 200%, and then a double hit for 300%. The multipliers are fine on this weapon. So unless, like, because I kept hearing that, like, the stance needs to be fixed. Maybe it needs to be, like, something on the heavy attack. Because there's no force multiplier, or there's no guaranteed procs there. It does look like there is one. Whoop, hold on. It does look like there's one on the second part. It looks like, because it's a triple hit again, it does look like there's a force slash on the middle one. Because I've been Yeah, another another slash on the middle one. It does look like there's a slash proc on the middle one. So technically, there's a 4 slash proc. It's a triple hit. It seems like it's the same category as like the Hespar, where it's got like a slash built into the triple hit. But anyway, let's go over the build. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So the simple combo counter build is pretty basic. If you've seen a slash build, this is your build basically. We'll do a newbro build for this because there's a good chance newbros are going to get their hands on this, which is fantastic, by the way. So all we're doing is just getting our multipliers on. And give me a second, I'm a little unprepared. And you do have the option of going like corrosive here. It's not too big of a deal because you're going to be fighting low level stuff. So you have base damage, which is pressure point, organ shatter, which is your critical damage, true steel, which is crit chance, fury for attack speed, reach for range, melee prowess to get our status chance up, and then mod for some form of damage. I would suggest if you are super new and you somehow got your hands on this weapon, say you picked Duviri, you would just mod for raw damage. Don't worry about any of the other combo counter builds that you're going to see next. So if you're a new bro, here you go. As you start to get like better stuff, I would say just go double attack speed. And even swap out for melee prowess, just go double attack speed. Because the weapon is a tad slow, though definitely serviceable. So if you get like an early quickening, or if you're doing Cetus bounties, Glad Vice, nothing wrong with that on top of Fury. If you do get Glad Vice and quickening, then you would swap Gladiator Vice for Fury, right? But pretty basic, easy standard. Okay, let's go for the combo counter. Because we're going to have a combo counter and a heavy attack build. And to be honest, the heavy attack build is where this weapon excels. And it has to do with that slash proc. So the issue, this is a very, very standard quick attack build. If you've seen one before, it's for slash. Very, very basic. I didn't bother to balance the slash proc, though to be honest, it is a little weak. I mean, it's 55%. It could be justified swapping out, say, Gladiator Might for a Carnus Mandible. Bumps the status chance weighting up for slash significantly. And gives you a tiny bit more raw damage. 70%. That is an improvement. So if you're trying to deal damage with slash procs, this is basically a direct DPS upgrade, effectively, right? Because you're going to be proccing more status, and more of that status when it triggers is going to be slash, which is going to be a straight up DPS increase. Though I would like to not have to get off Glad Might because that hurts, right? The fact is it is a direct increase. If you are using this for the circuit, don't even bother. Just go double crit. And the Grenier goes to Corrupted if you want. You also have the option of going like this to keep your slash as weighted as possible. Just because of the decrees, you got doubles your crit damage, so you want the crit damage as high as possible. And then there's a decree that gives you double damage on your slash, and that fixes the faction damage issue. So then it really just becomes about balancing your statuses and making sure you have the right statuses, right? So, and the game gives you the other base statuses. So unless you want to go a raw damage build, just stick with the status type that you want. Heat, toxin, cold. I think there's electricity one. I would be surprised if there wasn't. Are all available. At least toxin, heat, and cold, I know for a fact are available. And they can be forced on, so they're not really going to mess with your modding at all. So just might as well go ahead with slash, or even do like a slash toxin build, and try to wait. Like you would normally for the corrupted. Weight the toxin slightly below the slash. And that's up to you how you want to balance it. If you want a little bit more toxin because you feel like the shield guys are putting in work on you, then obviously weight that a little more. If you notice they're blowing up regardless, just get the slash on a little more. Pretty basic. So basically you're just for the circuit, which is what this weapon is predominantly going to be used for right now. When you do get it, and for steel paths. So the faction mod, you get rid of this. Faction that you're going up against goes here. If you're doing the circuit, you would rush out, abort the mission, and adjust your statuses, and then go right back in once you see this. So this would be like a circuit build, right? So let's talk about the heavy attack. I'm not going to bother to show this damage because it's kind of irrelevant. I've been seeing quite a bit that this weapon is mediocre. Actually, let me show the quick attack build. Or the quick attack damage. We'll grab some Grenadiers. It's a solid weapon for the quick attack. It's got nice multipliers. And I do have Arcane Strike on the frame, so 10 to 12k, 3k, 39 on that headshot. Oh, you know what happened? Hold on. Goodbye. Alright, 6Ks, 2600, 10Ks, 9K, 8K. Headshot for 18K, I'm talking slash ticks. 19K, 7K, 22K. And there's no viral priming. Obviously, viral is a big boost against these guys with a slash build, because right now I'm basically getting RNG from the weapon, the 3 IPS weights, or the 3 IPS statuses, are contributing to conditioned overload, so I'm only getting, what, plus 240. If you get viral, it bumps, or sorry, 180. With viral, it'll bump you to plus 240, and then give you the plus 325 on it, so it's a big boost. But that's the weapon innately for its quick attack build, 20k to 9k. Pretty basic. Okay. Alright, let's talk about the heavy attack build. Because this actually gets a bit interesting. The second part of the heavy attack does have a forced slash. Okay. But the issue is you could actually... It's hard to balance. I've been trying Relentless Combination for more spammable heavies. And you are going to need attack speed, which is why I'm using Strike, to get a decent amount of combo chance on this. Where the other one, you don't have to worry about it. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this guy, so the trick is a slide, couple 100k. Let's find a guy. 140. $296. So there's damage there. And I've been trying to balance it and figure out what exactly I can do to reliably trigger the headshot. Because there is a headshot on the main one, but you have to be able to get the slash procs on it. Because the main hit does not have... Oh. So the main hit doesn't have forced procs on it, but if you can land the headshot, I've been able to land up to 2, and have gotten, with no viral priming, 1.2 million slash tick. But obviously it's not reliable. So 25k, that was hitting body armor. Yeah, 128. So there's damage there. In order to, like, comfortably use this weapon, not right now, but maybe in the future, this actually would need a Riven. To gain access to, like, everything, and you would probably need a utility Riven, which is kind of wild. Crit chance to get more reds, obviously. And at least either plus slash or minus puncture, preferably minus puncture. And you would want a combo count chance and heavy attack efficiency. Because in order to hit the reds, you need Blood Rush and Sacrificial Steel. And you barely nick it. So the base crit on this is 20%. Alright, so 20%. Blood Rush multiplies this by 4.4. Or sorry, 5.4. And Sacrificial Steel multiplies it by 2.2. So we can basically add them together. Blood Rush and Sacrificial Steel for 6.6. So 20%, oops, plus 660% is a 152. And 110% of 20 is 22. So our quick attack is at 174 at a 12x combo, which isn't anything to sneeze at. You're going to be seeing mostly oranges. But if we subtract out the 20, times it by 2. Sorry. So 20% plus 660%. Alright, minus 20 times 2. So 284 is oranges with a good chance of getting reds, right? Hold on, I just did that wrong. 20% plus 660%. Sorry, 880. Is a 196. And then obviously you subtract out the 20 times 2. And this is where you start getting reds from, right? Because Sacrificial Steel doubles for heavy attacks. So it's base crit, which is 20, plus 880%, which is good enough for some reds. So, and then you have the Gladiator Might, which is just plus 110%, so it's like 980 or something like that, which is good enough to get really decent amounts of crit. But you want solid reds, right? Sorry, I did do it backwards. Hold on. So with yeah, I had to check. I didn't say that. There's no way in hell it was that high. So 20 plus the 110% from Glad Might, Blood Rush is 440, Sacrificial is 440. So 440, 440, that's 880. 110 from Glad Might is 990. So 20 plus 990% puts us at oranges with a little bit of a chance of reds. That's correct. Having a brain fart. So the issue is trying to get more reds. So if you can get even like 100% crit chance, when it doubles, it would give you 40% and give you a 50% chance, 60% chance of getting reds. And that is a reasonable multiplier on a heavy attack, because you want that slash tick hitting as hard as possible. But the issue is the weighting then. You have to either increase the slash or decrease the puncture, and a Sun and Moon Riven with minus puncture and say some heavy attack efficiency and crit chance and so what would it be? Heavy attack efficiency, minus puncture, crit chance, and even like crit damage would be really solid. And it would fix the issue because there's two mods competing for this slot. The getting your combo count up as high as possible on here. That's why I was using the Nariman. Slam, opening slam. It's not too annoying a playstyle. And it's 20 seconds, you can refresh it, and if you get an execute, right, a finisher, you can increase your crit damage and do even more damage. But the heavy attack build is something to be considered, and there's even this one mod on here for the heavies, which I forgot to mention, but specifically for heavies. This did not help us on the quick attack though, but for heavy attacks and powered blades on a shield setup, allows you to do some pretty nutty damage. And with priming, I've gotten this easily into the millions, provided I've gotten the slash procs to back it up. So, food for thought on the heavy attack. There is a ton of damage there because it's a triple hit. But if you're running something like the circuit or just general steel path, listen, this is the way to go. The weapon's fine. You just gotta prime, right? So anyway, Sun and Moon build, you can get way better damage, and let's add the Panzer with some virals, and we'll leave it at that. Because I've been trying to leave the Panzer off on build videos. If this lets me equip the Panzer. There we go. Alright, that's gone. Yep. We'll do some exos. Yeah, 66k. Not too bad. It's just it's a newbro weapon. It's still pretty solid though. You can get some pretty nutty damage out of it though with the heavy attack. which is probably what the Rivens are being used for. If you noticed on the Rivens actually being sold, obviously the weapon is super popular, especially right now because everybody has it. That's the Naviri. Um, but the heavy attack, you can get some pretty nutty damage out of it. God forbid you're running like additional frame buffs, like a Rhino Roar or anything that gives you base damage, like a Rage, Avenger setup. You can hit insane numbers on this. Though I do like if you are using an invisibility frame only. That one mod, Empowered Blades, is really good, but you gotta have the shields to back it up. It doesn't work. So it's conditional. It's like the new Incarnon evolution where it requires overshields. Best left to stealth frames. Um, but if you can use this, this is really, really strong because it's a separate multiplier to faction. So if you were to run like a Roar setup, this wouldn't compete with Roar like faction mods do. So it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The Sun and Moon is pretty solid. The heavy attack build is where it's at though, for people that like seeing big numbers. I think that's about it. And the stance is pretty good. It's got, for some reason, it's got a really weird little /4/ on the second heavy, which is kind of weird. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Take it easy. There's the Sun and Moon build. This weapon is fine. Take it easy.